Get a cup, get a cup, get a cup. Hello, hello. Welcome back, everyone, to another video on Fresh Got Slim. And today we're looking at your work confessions by Degenerosity. Now, it's been a little while since I've reacted to a Degenerosity video. But yeah, with that being said, the original link's in the description. So yeah, with that being said, let's begin.
Hello.
It's me.
That was my worst intro ever. Hey y'all, it's your favorite gambling addict, back with another confessions video. You and I know the gist by now. You guys send me your confessions, and I read them while crying on the inside. This time the topic was work confessions, bad things or unusual stuff that happened at your workplace. And I know half of you guys are unemployed, but don't get me wrong, you guys still send me the good stuff. Some of your confessions were a little bit mild, while at the same time, some of your confessions were a little bit wild. And at the end of the day, I come to the same conclusion, is that I hope
You all need therapy.
all your bosses watch this video. Let's just get into it. First, I don't got no damn job. I work in a school as a student. One of my classmates made 2 holes in the walls of my classroom. You work in school as a student? What?
I think that just means you're a student, right? I mean, I think that means that you have no job. That's like a beggar saying, "Oh, I work on the off-ramp."
When did that become a job? I've been a student for basically all my life, and I never got paid squat. I did more than 12 good years working, and I never saw a cent. I never saw a cent. I need my reparations. My brother's boss at Little Caesars was giving people raises if they did the nasty, even the men. Second story, a Karen at a local McDonald's
Looks like I'm getting a pay raise.
was mad her nuggets weren't out in time. It was a 1-minute wait, and she threw a fit. She was also very obese. So she hurled her fat over the counter and tried fighting the cashier. She didn't land one punch, and she got punched once and was knocked out cold. Lastly,
Stairs are right.
a customer at Arby's was mad over curly fries and pulled out a gun and started firing.
That seems a bit extreme.
Honestly, I'm still stuck at the first confession, cause did your brother like take the raise? Like, I'm not judging, you know. You gotta do what you gotta do in this life, but did you take the raise? Like, how big was the raise? You know, if it was like an extra $10 an hour with a free side of crazy bread and
$10 an hour extra? Yeah, right. It'd be like 50 cents or $1 at most.
wings, that's kind of tempting. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, but like everybody else doing it, I might as well join in. And for the curly fries one, I kind of understand it. When you order food and you expect a certain kind of standard to it and it comes back mid, I'ma start going crazy on the spot and start rapping to the cashier saying, "Let's play a little game I made. All you gotta do is pick a candy bar, one gotta play." Some people be serious about that curly fries. And the fat girl, yeah, whatever. More of the story, accept all opportunities to get in a raise.
Hey ladies, are you over 18 or what?
I work as a teller at my state's credit union. I once had a woman who was cleaning money from her account. She had a bunch of Zelle deposits from her dad, but turns out her dad has been dead for 6 months, and she was pretending to be him, withdrawing from ATMs and transferring money from his account to hers without permission. Needless to say, she didn't get the money. I'm having trouble understanding this confession. I mean, I might be stupid,
Yeah, I just kind of gapped on that. What?
but like, I'm still having trouble with it because I don't see anything she did wrong. I mean, I bet this is
Hold on here. Let me go back.
more of the story, accept all opportunities to get in a raise. I work as a teller at my state's credit union. I once had a woman who was cleaning money from her account. She had a bunch of Zelle deposits from her dad, but turns out her dad has been dead for 6 months, and she was pretending to be him, withdrawing from ATMs and transferring money from his.
So she's just taking dead dad's money? I mean, okay, hold on now. If your dad had passed away, wouldn't everything left that, you know, that he had left be in like the will or whatever? Or even if it's not a will, shouldn't it be divided up by the family or something like that? So why is there still money in his accounts after 6 months?
His account to hers without permission. Needless to say, she didn't get the money. I'm having trouble understanding this confession. I mean, I might be stupid, but like, I'm still having trouble with it because I don't see anything she did wrong. I mean, I bet this is marked as a crime under some random law somehow, but I still don't see what she did wrong. Her dad's dead. What does he need the money for? Who is she gonna ask for permission? His coffin? She gotta ask.
I just don't understand how there's money there to begin with, because after, you know, someone dies, their accounts are basically closed and the money's divided out between, it's either who's in the will, and if it's not that, I think it's like nearest relatives, isn't it? So then how does their dead dad have an account still after 6 months? I don't get it.
ask the bank for permission to her dad's money? Like, why? Why does the bank need the money for? Like, come on, man. You holding her up from showing off her emotion. And for what? Her dead dad that's not gonna use the money? I don't see any problem with what she did. I mean, I bet if I did some research, I probably would, but I'm not. I'm gonna be on her side, blind. I don't care. Go get your dead dad's money, girl. I used to work at KFC, and for some reason, my coworker started putting like 10 squirts of mayo on every sandwich that I was ordered, and this person provided some evidence alongside with it too. If I ever open up my
Are they squirting more than just mayo? Like, what the frig?
fast food bag and I see a mayonnaise sandwich has been replaced for my burger, I'm chucking that sandwich back at that worker, not gonna lie. No, you won't. You right, I won't. I worked as a waiter in this smaller little...
I'd go and complain, though. I'd go and complain. If I got like a freaking Mick shot or whatever they're called, I would definitely go complain.
Restaurant. After someone left, I picked up the dishes like a normal person would. There was this guy who worked in the back who would clean the dishes really fast, so everyone kind of relied on him. Until one day we call him not washing the dishes, but licking them till they're clean. Anyways, not long after, the place shut down to no surprise. Bro was just cleaning the leftovers off, making sure the place was spick and span.
That's how you save on food right there, folks. You just don't need to order food when you can just eat the crumbs at the restaurant. I'm always getting gagging thinking of that. Like, imagine ordering food and you get a nice plate and someone was just licking it in the back before you getting it. Like, oh my gosh.
Bro was just doing his job, and the fact that y'all relied on him meant he was a diligent worker. He did nothing wrong. I mean, I wouldn't eat there, or let my family eat there, or let my friends eat there, or let my dogs eat there, but hey, to each their own. Basically, I used to work in this Mexican restaurant. Reason I applied there, I always kept getting rejected by other places. McDonald's, Taco Bell, and other last resort jobs. Dang, nobody want you. But I was able to get a job at this restaurant for $3 an hour as a servant. Bro, you don't got a job, you're a slave.
How is that legal? Is that like, if you're a server, I think they can pay you less than minimum wage because you get tips. So I think that's how you can do it. But that is basically just like, there are people in other countries who are making more, and they're also like just making clothing, right? Okay, maybe they're not making $3 an hour. They're making like 3 cents an hour or something, but still, you're working for basically slave wages.
That is not a job. You are a servant. This is the type of job I'd take if I had debt to owe to the boss. At first, I came in for the training, which the restaurant didn't really teach much, so I had to teach myself. But customers were weird AF. I had to serve a group of friends that were senior citizens, and they were showing pictures of their private parts to each other in public. And
what? Senior citizens were doing that? I mean, I might have, when I'm really old, I'd be like, yo, F it. Hey, Billy. Hey, Greta, you want a piece of this action? Yeah, freaking old people are weird.
And I saw that while I was taking their order. More of the story, work somewhere non-food related, such as AutoZone.
Facts. I've worked in the food industry before, you know? It freaking sucks.
Where I'm happy. Old people be weird sometimes. They're either the most intelligent, loving people you've ever met in your life, or second to babies. All the old people I personally know are loving and intelligent though. You know, I love you, grandma. But then there's sometimes those old people that be coming up to me talking in gibberish like
Quaaludes.
I don't even know what they said. Yeah, old people be weird sometimes, but
Let's not forget, they were once young too. And, young people, be crazy, be horny, and I think that just goes through you all through your life, even when you're old. That stuff's not just going to disappear all that much. You may have tamed down if you're angry. You may have tamed down a bit, but I don't think all that's gone.
I'm glad that you freed yourself from the shackles of slavery and now work at AutoZone. I'm proud of you, bro. I'm happy that you're happy. Worked at a clinic around 18 years old. Got paid in gift cards.
Got paid in gift cards. So that was an under the table gig.
Worker got shot, and I had to see a patient myself once. Imagine having some kid come in asking you about your jaundice. The hell is a jaundice?
You could probably ask those old people and they'd show you a picture of it.
Jaundice, a medical condition with yellowing of the skin or whites of the eyes, arising from excess of the pig.
Hey, Margaret, you want to see my jaundice? That just sounds inappropriate.
Bilirubin, and typically caused by obstruction of the bile duct. The hell is bilirubin? Bilirubin, an orange-yellow pigment formed in the liver by the breakdown of hemoglobin and excreted in bile. What the hell is a hemoglobin?
Hemoglobin is in blood. Isn't that what makes your blood red? I know it's in blood.
Hemoglobin, a red protein responsible for transporting oxygen in the blood of Viltrumites.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, okay. Working for any kind of politician gotta be one of the worst jobs, not gonna lie. I once got an internship for this dude I didn't know much about. And every day there'd be crazy people coming into his office screaming, holding signs with actual blood on them, making death threats, and just being altogether vile. I don't know if it's because the guy was Republican or something, but it traumatized me and made me never want to work in the private sector again. Honestly.
Now, what would you prefer? That, where you get to see some like crazy crap, or we're working at McDonald's where you get to see crazy crap, but you're also paid minimum wage? You know, I mean, maybe this seems better.
Honestly, you didn't even have to tell me to know this. There's no such thing as an honest politician, bro. I can almost guarantee that the higher on the ladder the politician is, the more likely the employees will be treated like garbage. I just don't like the politics space in general, because the more you look into it, the more you're like, damn, man, everybody a piece of huh?
Facts. Facts.
I would never want to work in that space. Unless I'm gonna be president. I better be the president. First law, I'm the only dude on Tinder. All the girls have to swipe right on me. Why the hell I still have no matches? One of my coworkers' boyfriends started working with us recently. He got yelled at by a stupid bitch manager. Oh my God, I hate that stupid bitch! Anyways, the dude got yelled at by the manager, and it got to the point where he freaking snapped at that. He started insulting her, raising his voice to the point he turned red. The girlfriend tried to step in, pushing him to the side. He pushed her off and yelled, "Don't freaking touch me!" Another co-worker pulled up to stop him, and that's where he went berserk. He was pushing him while yelling, "I'm gonna kill you! You..." The people...
Fair enough. You know, some managers at these restaurants take themselves way too seriously, and I mean, they're kind of asking for it at some point. You know, if you're taking your job way too seriously, I understand it's serious, you know, it's your income, but if you're treating workers with no respect and you're treating them badly, you can't be surprised if one of them snaps or comes in with a gun one day, or, you know, you can't be surprised, because treating people a certain way is going to leave a, you know, a certain mental, say, scar on them if you're not treating them, you know, good.
In the restaurant had enough and tried to fight him because the majority of the staff and customers were Hispanic and Latino. He panicked and went outside, locking the customers inside. He later got chased by two old Mexican folk with freaking machetes. Can you believe that? Machetes! Unfortunately, he got away and is about to get fired. Why isn't he already fired, bro? That story is crazy. And by the sounds of it, you hate your manager too. Is your manager Chris Rock or Mahito from Jujutsu Kaisen?
Chris Rock? What's wrong with Chris Rock? I have no idea. Does he have like a record of yelling at people like Ellen DeGeneres, you know? I don't think he's that bad of a boss.
I don't know, man. Crazy story. I don't even know what to say, just crazy. When I was younger, I worked at McDonald's. It was painful and tiring, and I ended up getting myself fired. One day at 1 p.m., I was making french fries till this guy named Michael showed up. He caused employees to freaking quit or get fired. He messed up the employees' work like putting food poisoning in it. What? Today's was the most evil ever. He got up on the counter, put his pants down, including underwear, and then he started peeing while the french fries were boiling. He told the manager that I peed in the french fries to let you know the cameras were broken and nobody was in the kitchen. Turns out Michael is the son of the manager and he believed Michael always. When I served the food to the customer said, it smelled like piss, which ended up me getting fired. Bro, I would hate working with an employee like this, and I would hate having a boss like this. Bosses having kids work for them and then obviously treating them with more respect and bias just because they're their kids. Like, I could never imagine working in a working environment like that. It just sounds too annoying. And the fact that you got fired for him peeing in the fries?
Yeah, that's just crazy. One, that's illegal. Like, he should have been arrested for that. I'm like 99% sure that's illegal doing that, because it'd be like biohazard contamination or something.
Bro, sue. I don't know what you're suing for, but sue. Just sue.
Wrongful dismissal.
One time when I was 5 and was still in China, my work master gave me 4 more hours of work for messing up the seam on a poop emoji plushie, trying to relate to my international audience. Share this video with Winnie the Pooh. I worked at a pizza place, and when the customers were kinda rude, I would make sure to spit on that hoe. My coworker, on the other hand, would lay his balls on some pizzas. Good time. Alright, I got a lot of confessions of some of you guys work.
That's not what they meant when they wanted extra meat. So that's why, you know, I'm afraid if I go to a restaurant, I'm afraid of being rude or anything until I get my food. Not to say that I'm a rude person, but you know, if I'm gonna have a complaint regarding something, I wait until I have my food so then they can't F with it.
Working in fast food and doing disgusting things to the person's order. Before break, the worst teacher came in the drive-thru, so we put fart spray on his burger. I spat in this guy's burger for being an a-hole, and it turns out the burger was for his kid, and the kid ate it. My friend has a habit of sneaking rat poison in his customers' meals. His ass hasn't been caught yet.
That's also illegal. That person should be in jail. That's crazy.
Is that illegal? You trying to kill your customers? What kind of habit is that? That guy is not normal. He's a serial killer in the making. I work at Wendy's.
Pretty much. I mean, yeah, that's completely illegal.
I peed in somebody's drink. They thought it was pineapple Sprite. All right, that one gotta be fake, but that's not the point. You guys are making me a little scared to go to these fast food chains because after reading these confessions, I think half my food gonna be spat in or have rat poison in it. Y'all legit crazy. But
I mean, yeah, same. You know, the people who work there are paid minimum wage or not, they're not much. It's not like it's a job they would care about or respect. So it makes sense why they wouldn't treat it with that much respect. Which maybe it's a good thing that these, the restaurants will be taken over by AI or machines that make the food for you because the machines aren't going to spit in it. And I guess that is a positive of the future.
Based on what I read, most of the time it's just for customers that are kind of rude to them. And honestly, looking through their lens and perspective, I could understand it. I'm not saying it's right or justified or anything, but if I worked at fast food and you were rude to me when you're ordering your food, I might add a little extra sauce to your food. Like sometimes customers be tweaking at the employees at these fast food places just because they got their order slightly wrong or the customer got an attitude at the start. Like I bet 95% of the time it's just gonna be normal customers saying normal orders, and then there'll be those one customers that be like, "You forgot the pickles!" head ass. Making a scene, yelling at you like you're not about to make their food in the back of the kitchen where they can't even see you.
Yeah, like when I worked at fast food restaurants, I never witnessed anything, inappropriate that people did. And I was making food and whatnot, and I never witnessed anyone do anything to anyone's food. But from what I've heard from other people, that I know it does happen, and it is mostly to people who are complaining or being a Karen about something. So that's what I'm saying, is that if you're gonna complain, wait until after you have your food.
Try to start a fight with me, I'ma put a Shrek Twinkie in your bag and say that's your burger. Like I'd act exactly like this person I'm about to read right here. Worked at Bojangles when I was 15 and a customer called one of my coworkers a rat because his chicken was taking too long. So my dude fried a dead rat he kept in the freezer for a moment like this. No one but me and him knows this. See, these people be waiting for moments like this, and I'll be one of them. If I'm working at Mickey D's and a customer start cussing at me, I prayed for times like this. I'm gonna put monkey brains in your burger. Honestly, I'd probably be one of those petty workers, man. Like if I worked at Starbucks and someone asked for extra whipped cream on their iced coconut latte, I'm gonna be like, extra whipped cream? Nah, I gotta dip my feet in your drink, bro. You're doing too much. If you had the opportunity to eat Bob's Burgers versus my bum's burgers, I reckon you take Bob's. My bum don't taste good. I would know. I've tried it. I worked at Starbucks in 2017 and I would put some pills in customers' drinks around the holidays. No cap, I went—
What? You went to jail for 2 years? Good. That's freaking insane that you would have thought you could get away with that.
to jail for 2 years and 6 months probation. The pills weren't any bad ones, just ones that made you feel good, like dopamine. I got some psychopaths in my audience. So back then I used to work at a gas
And they don't even seem to regret it. Like, it doesn't sound like there's remorse in that.
station in high school. The only reason I worked there because it had good pay and my homie was working there too. So working at a gas station, I've seen a lot of crazy stuff go down. I've seen people get shot, stabbed, etc. So at that point, nothing really surprised me until one day, me and my homie were just doing our jobs. I was ringing up customers and homie was sweeping. Until this guy came in, normal looking guy, asked for a pack of rhino pills. Nothing crazy, people get that all the time. Until I hear barking. So I don't think much of it until I see a full-grown adult man walking on all fours. And I would've just, okay, what the heck, if it wasn't for the fact he had on a dog mask on with a belt.
Oh, one of those people who wear wear all that stuff. I don't really care what you do, inside of your own house. It's not my business. But when you're bringing that stuff outside into the public eye where kids can see you, I think that's not a good thing, because I know kids are very impressionable, and the slightest things, which don't really mean that much, will have lasting impacts on their psychological health, because that kind of crap happened to me. I didn't see anything like that, but just like I saw like a horror movie when I was younger of like a spider movie. I think it was called like Arachnophobia or something like that. Like I watched it a few years ago and it's not really that scary, but as a kid, just a little tiny thing like that ruined me. Like I was afraid of spiders. Like I was, before I saw that movie, I was fine with spiders. I actually like collected them kind of. And then after that, for like 15 years, I was like psychologically just paranoid of it. And like the smallest things that kids see that is a little bit out of the normal or a little bit, you know, horror or traumatizing or whatever, it's multiplied. It has a much larger effect than you would think. And you know, if you're walking around in gimp suits and you're walking around in these kind of, you know, sexual things that you do in your bedroom, I think that's gonna have negative impacts on children. Like, does that make sense? You know, I don't want to be insensitive to whatever people are into, but like, whatever you're into, you don't need to be telling other people or showing other people what you're into, unless it's something that they've asked to see, you know? Does that make sense?
And it's not like he had pants on either. He walked in bare cheeks out and a bra on. What the actual is happening right now? So the guy I was ringing up said, "Who's a good boy?" and pet him. So at that point, I left out, like, I was shocked. I don't judge kinks, but I'm gonna judge this one. You weird if you do this in public. You traumatized my homie right here. He was just trying to work at the gas station. You pull up in full Metal Gear Solid uniform for you and your partner to do those activities for everybody to see. Not everybody want to see that, bro. Leave that behind closed doors for a short period.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, I don't really care, but I didn't ask to see it. Little Jimmy here didn't ask to see it. These other people didn't ask to see it. Don't be showing it. Really, society has kind of gotten where there's a lot of lack of common decency over the last, like, decade or so, where people are just so open with all the crazy crap they do that it's kind of, I don't know, concerning. You know, we're lucky that there are some laws, like, you know, public nudity is illegal, right? We're lucky that there are some laws that stop people from taking it even further than they already do.
Period of time I was working at this hardware store, and when I applied, my brother told me that the owner of the store is racist and I wasn't gonna get hired because I'm Muslim. And when I applied, I did notice that every single worker was white, but I ended up getting the job for some
Being white and Muslim are two different things. You know, Muslim's a religion, it's not a race. You can be white and a Muslim at the same time.
reason. My brother was pretty surprised. Turns out my brother was right. That owner was racist. Every time I came into work and he was there, he would always pat me down to make sure I didn't have any contraband on me. Never once did I see him do that to any of the other workers. And one day, when I had gotten done cleaning the toilet, for some reason I was the only one getting that duty, I walked past his office and his door was slightly open. And I heard bro on the phone with someone and he was talking about how he didn't trust me. And he straight up said I was a because I was Muslim. After that, I knew I needed to do something. So instead...
Quit? I wouldn't freaking work for people like that. What's he gonna do though?
Instead of quitting, I hit a brick of inside his office when he wasn't at work. And where I live, that stuff is mad illegal. I then gave an anonymous tip to the police in our town and he got arrested like a week later. I love your vids, cutie. W. Nothing but a W, bro. The only other option I
Holy crap, that's nuts.
could have thought of is suing him. You know, that's my only other option.
That would have been better, you know, for discrimination or whatever, because then you would have, you know, you might have got some money at the end of it, and then maybe you could pay for college or something, or you don't have to work for people like this.
I would have recorded him saying all that junk and I would have sued his ass. Or, second option, statements that my lawyer told me not to say, so I won't say it. But your idea, pretty good. Nice. Someone said LeBron was better than Kevin Durant. That's because he is. Don't ever disrespect my little goat like that. My little husband is never gonna be disrespected like that.
I've known this girl for more than 4 years and I like her. I've known her since middle school. I don't know, I just really like her. She already rejected me. That's why I don't talk to her. Because she asked me not to. But I can't get over her. She just my first love. Fleeting emoji. Fate has it, we now...
Oh, this is just young love. This'll die. Don't worry, this'll die.
Work together, and it's been more than a year since the last time I saw her. And she's, been looking at me. I've had a little glow up, so this isn't really a confession. I just need advice from someone I love, enjoy, and respect. 100 emoji, 100 emoji, fire emoji, 100 emoji, fire emoji, 100 emoji.
I am so glad you asked this question. I have the perfect answer for you. So first, you gotta do this.
Show her all your Pokemons and Funko Pop collectibles. That'll get her interested. Like you could take this different ways. You either act cool, but that's not you. Like being yourself is very important. And maybe she's not going to be attracted to you if you act yourself. And maybe that's for the best. Because if you pretend to be someone that you're not, and she falls in love, and then she discovers the real you, then it's going to end in disaster anyway.
Okay, this next story is a little too crazy to show any type of visuals for. So, in the meantime, I'm gonna read the story, and in your mind, I'll help you visualize everything that's happening right now.
Was that Trisha Paytas?
My sister's coworker Amy got into a fight with this other coworker Jason because he spread a rumor that she injected her pee and poop into the burger patties, and they threatened to fire her over that until she kept denying it. So they went into the parking lot and started throwing hands. But what Jason didn't know is that Amy had put a plastic bag up her before they went into the parking lot. She took like 6 laxatives, and then when they were fighting...
Why? What? Well, how is this going to help her case?
And she pooed her pants with wet diarrhea. So after they were done fighting, Amy said,
"See if you can spread this around."
And she reached into her pants and pulled out the plastic bag.
Hey, what's that?
And it was one of those where you could zip it up shut. So the plan for her was to throw it at him, but for it to be closed. And she didn't close the bag before she threw it. So she threw it, and wet poo landed all over his face and clothes.
Ew, what the hell?
And wet.
And from that day on, he was a different person. This is crazy if this is real. Do you think you're still going to be holding down a job after doing something like that? You know, it's one thing saying, oh, I didn't do this rumor that's going around, this is untrue. You know, it's one thing saying that, but then you go out to the parking lot throwing diarrhea. Oh, then all of a sudden it looks like this rumor might be true and you're going to get fired.
Diarrhea poo landed on the people standing around them, and everyone stood there, frozen. Some of them were screaming in disgust, and a police car drove by. Then Amy booked it. Some people say they saw her in Alaska. We live in California.
Who knows if that's true? That doesn't sound real though. Like that's so insane.
What a beautifully eloquent story. I feel like that confession was on Shakespearean levels of drama. Any other day, this would be an amazing note to end on. But I have one more.
You got one that's worse than that. That was insane. Like imagine working at like Microsoft or something, and someone spreads a rumor about you doing something inappropriate, and you know there's nothing really to say, oh, that it's true. You know, there's no evidence, so you just deny it. So it looks like you might keep your job, and then you go to the parking lot and diarrhea yourself and start throwing it at people. I mean, you think you're still gonna have a job after that?
And this one makes me feel like George R.R. Martin wrote this himself. So before I lay this story upon you, I just need to say this experience left me with mental scars to this day.
George
So last
R.R.
year in 2022, it was a breezy and warm summer night shift at the Steak and Shake I was working at. It was just me and my homie since the boss left early that shift. There wasn't any customers, so we were just chilling for the most part. Suddenly, the front door slams open and enters a pregnant lady. But not any pregnant lady, for you see, she was in labor. We both stood there as she struggles her way to the counter, grasping onto her stomach. We're both a bit shaken from the sudden entrance, but I ask her, "Ma'am, are you
What do you want to eat?
okay?" She responds in an alarming tone. "Can you
Double cheeseburger!"
please take my order?" My homie is just flabbergasted and slowly walks towards the kitchen, leaving me to take her order. I feel my throat close up as I ask what she would like. "A bacon and cheese double baked burger with chocolate milkshake." With heavy breaths between nearly each word, we quickly prepare the order for her in the kitchen while trying to contact our boss. He just wouldn't answer. I don't know if his phone was dead or on do not disturb, but we just couldn't call the homie. So we finished the order and rushed back to the counter to see the lady laying on the ground straight up ready to give birth. She yells, "Give me the food!" And we do so. We try to
Those must be some crazy pregnant cravings, you know? At least the last one she's probably gonna have.
calm her down and suggest we call an ambulance for her, but she says,
I ain't paying $5 grand for that.
I feel the triplets coming right now. Which just left me and my friend in a state of pure shock. She unwrapped her burger and started devouring it as we literally saw the baby pop out of her.
I don't think I would stand around to see that. You know, I ain't all about the miracle of life. I remember in high school, they showed a video of a woman giving birth, and that was something. I don't know if I want to see that, you know, firsthand, you know, per se. If, you know, if I'm going to be there with like my wife or whatever giving birth, I'm going to be standing to her side, holding her hand or something, not looking down the cannon. And in this situation, I'll just give you your food and then I'll just go to the back and do something. If you don't want an ambulance, that's fine, but I don't know how to give birth or help you give birth, so I don't really want any part of this.
Her pee-pee area. Oh my God. And she was just pushing the poor kid out with all of her strength. She basically had to undress herself on the bottom to get her kid out safely. Bro, I felt so sick at that moment. I never wanted to see a pregnant woman unpants herself, but now I was forced to. Cause I literally had to help her give birth. Cut to 30 minutes later of this hell. 30 minutes of hearing her yell in pain as her newborn kids wailed out loud. 2 of the 3 kids were born in that time. And the absolute mess that was on the floor that she left. It was
You know, the craziest thing is that now they have to clean that mess up. Like, I don't get paid enough for this.
like spilled shake and burger pieces combined with all that birth liquid. I was going to vomit. My homie was just done at this point and left minutes ago. Since it was the end of our shift, I couldn't leave yet because I had the store key and only could dip when all the customers are gone. So finally, as she was taking a bite of her burger, we pulled out the last kid. It was finally over. The hellfire was finally over.
Who knows if this is actually true? Like, this is so insane. Half of these are so insane. How are there not, like, news stories to corroborate them? Is that the right word? Corroborate? You know, to back them up. Like, there should be news stories to back up some of these crazy claims. And I wish that they were included in the video, if they are real, just so that we can see that they are real.
The ambulance came and took the lady and her kids out of the restaurant. And I was asked about what happened from one of the paramedics, and I had to explain the situation while my hands were still shaking. Afterwards, I was the only one left there, completely traumatized
So they had to clean all that mess up by yourself, or you just leave?
from that ordeal. I had to clean up what was left of her labor. I remember walking home after that and crying on the sidewalk from how much damage that did to my conscious and mental state. Needless to say, I genuinely feel nothing but pure injury on my soul from that night. Love your vids, by the way. They're the only sense of joy I will ever feel in this unforgiven earth.
The funniest thing is this person's probably quite young. You know, so this is definitely going to traumatize them. Oh, I couldn't imagine that, man. That's crazy. Who knows if it's real or not, but it's definitely entertaining. Hope you guys like this video. Make sure you go subscribe to Degenerosity if you haven't. If you're new, subscribe and all that. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time.